Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweetie's Homeschool YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 12, 9, and 6. We are about to start our 8th year of homeschooling next year. And today's video, I thought I would kind of give you a little glimpse of some of the different options for vocabulary for middle school from the Critical Thinking Company. A few months ago, I received a box of goodies from them. I had written them asking some questions and they sent me some different products to share with you guys. So I specifically asked about vocabulary for middle schoolers because the main one I had heard of was word roots, and you probably have seen videos on that. There are a bunch. A lot of people are loving word roots, and so that was one that I was specifically asking about because we had never used it. I had looked into it, but we never used it. But then I also saw that there was a curriculum called Vocabulary Virtuoso, and I was like, well, is that one that I should look into? Or there is also the Critical Thinking Detective Vocabulary. And so I was like, well, what are the differences? And so they did a detailed information email about the differences, but I thought this would be perfect to share. If I have questions about these things, then I'm sure you would too. So I'm just gonna go and kind of show you what each of these are like. This one, this Critical Thinking Detective Vocabulary. So this reminds me a lot of like the mind benders that they have already. That you have probably seen different books about, but this one in particular is very thin, really thin, hardly any pages at all in here. So this is for grades 5 through 12, and what it is, it's 12 different cases. And so I will just kind of show you a page here. It is going through and giving you kind of like a mystery to solve, and it has a lot of vocabulary words in it. These are kind of like words that you would maybe find in ACT, SAT tests. And so they're in here and you're going through these clues trying to figure out the answers. And it says, based on the evidence, circle the suspect who is the ring coveter on this one. So you will be able to circle the answer, whichever one, after you read all the clues and figure out the words. Then on the next page, after you would finish it, you would have a whole page of vocabulary filling in those vocabulary words into these sentences. So there are 12 little mysteries of that, and that's about it for the book. So there are answers in the back, so you don't have to worry about that. But that is pretty much, every lesson is a lot like that, and that is Critical Thinking Detective Vocabulary. This is book 1. So then they have different levels of Vocabulary Virtuoso. So I actually got several of them. I'm not going to show them all in this video because I'm just focusing on middle school options right now. So this is one of the middle school options. There might be a few other ones that could kind of qualify for middle school, but this one is for grades 8 through 12, and I think this is awesome. This is a PSAT, SAT prep vocabulary book, because we all know all those tricky words are in those tests. And so what this does, this is kind of a fun, different one. So you will have a word bank here. You can see that. You have the words listed. Now it does say in here that each of them, they're kind of divided into like whether they're like verbs or nouns, or they'll tell you like they'll focus on one. So this one is never failing nouns on the front page. So you have the list. So you have 9 on the front page. These lists have a few more words on it, but you are on this page, this is section A, you are like listing like the best word that the synonyms, idioms, or phrases defined to complete this. So you have some different options here. Like those are like probably the words that would go along with that. the clues. And then over here, you're filling in each sentence. So you have a fill in the blank sentence page. You on C, challenge C here, you have a whole story to read and you have some words to fill in over there. So it's got a whole story that you read and fill in. That's C. D would be, this is like word scramble, unscramble the words here. And then E would be write the word or phrase from the choice box that defines each list word. So you have some lists and then you have like some definitions that you find and fill in. And then the last one is complete each sentence to show that you understand the meaning of the underlined word. So they have the word and you're kind of filling in the rest of the sentence that gives the extra definition so you understand it. So that, there's A through F. So it's like, I would think you would do a section a day, so it would take longer than a week. And then you're gonna go ahead and have the next list. This is vexing verbs on week 2. And it looks to be very similarly set up. Got the same A through F, the same activities pretty much. So I would assume that you're just going through the whole book like that. There are review lists, so you would be going through 4 different lists that you would have as review lists. So you have 4 lessons, 4 weeks of lessons or longer, and then you're gonna have a review list of those 4 from previously. There are answers in the back of the book. It says 20 lists. So it says vocabulary list 20. So that is how many lists are in this book. I did want to point out on this Vocabulary Virtuoso that when they go to a review, the review sections are a little different. Like this one has a crossword puzzle. This one has circle the best answer. It's like a multiple choice question, which is great. Like they're learning, like multiple choice is a lot on those tests, you know. And then another one for review on this one. This would be another review page, and this is like kind of the fill in the blank. So they're not all of the reviews kind of fit the same mold. It looks like a great book, and these are words that are really tricky. Like really, I mean, I have a hard time even understanding what some of these words are. So these would be great words to really focus on, especially if you're prepping for one of these bigger tests, so they can get familiar with a lot more words. So I think this is a great option. You don't have to do word roots if you don't want to. We might pick this up. I don't think we'll pick it up this year, but we might use this like for freshman year or sophomore year. So the next one is word roots. So I actually have 2 levels of word roots. I have level 1 and level 2. I do have a beginning word root. This is for grades 3 through 4, which is right where my middle daughter is. So that's what we are using with her. But like I said, this is for middle school that I'm really focusing on. So middle school, can I just show you? This is the level 1 compared to beginning level. See the difference? This is beginning, this is level 1. So it's a lot heftier. What they said is actually some of the words that they introduce in the beginning levels are actually in the later levels, but it's just a little bit different and stuff. They kind of go through some of the same roots and things like that, but you're gonna focus on them a lot more in the upper levels. So word roots isn't necessarily that they're working on a big word and the definition. They're looking at the roots of the words, where they came from, what the words may have meant previously. And so this is really interesting. I think it looks fun. I like vocabulary though, so my kids might like not agree with me. So this one, level 1, has 30 lessons. There are review lessons in there. So the lessons are A through D. So A, B, C, D, 4 days. You could do a lesson a week easily if you are like 4-day-a-week homeschoolers. So this one is kind of set up like somewhat similar. So you are gonna have Well, there is a pre-test, post-test if you decided to do that before taking this course. So you're gonna have your lesson 1. There's like the prefixes here, root, and then suffixes. So then you have some words here and your spelling and defining words right down here. So these should be words I'm somewhat familiar with. Some of them are maybe not, but the root of this one is struct. So like construction and destruct and obstruct. So they're going through that. The next section is there's completing a sentence, and then they have word parts here. So you are defining it similarly to the other one, and then you're writing sentences. So just 4 days a week. There are not the stories like in the PSAT, SAT one, the vocabulary virtuoso, but then you're just basically going and starting a new lesson after you've done the 4. There are a few different activities I noticed. So once you get to the review, like this is review for lessons 3 and 4, and you're gonna have, this is write each word part from the choice box next to it right here. There are some write the letter of the correct definition for each word over here. So you're gonna have definitions there. They don't have to write them out, they just have to find the right letter. The next page is there's jumbled letters here, there's scrambled letters, and then you have write the best word from the gray box to complete each sentence. So there's different options. So that is pretty much what level 1 word roots is like. So then you're moving in and you have level 2. What they said to me is what they would like to see happen is like most kids start at level 1 and then they're able to go through all of the levels of word roots through high school. And so that could be a great option. I think there's 4 different word root levels. So they could just keep going through that. And they really recommend to start at 1 if possible. So that would probably be wise too, because then you're familiar with it. This is level 2. This is also for grades 5 through 12. Both of the word roots that I have here that I'm showing are 5 through 12. So you could even start this in 5th grade if you wanted to with your children, maybe even go a little slower. So then what they have here is 32 lessons, and you're basically doing the same thing, going through more word roots here. And the pages are set up pretty similarly. They have A, B, C, and D before starting the next level. So same kind of concept here, that they have the words and the roots and the prefixes, suffixes that they go through. We will take some time into word roots. I don't know how many levels we'll get through, but I definitely know that we will be moving over to this vocabulary virtuoso as well and getting those words as well. I think it's important to get the word roots and get like the Greek and Latin roots of the words and to know where they came from. But then this is such a good tool as well to have the higher vocabulary for these tests, especially because unfortunately they have to have this test to get into college if they want to get into college, at least as of right now. And so I don't know, with us being in a public virtual school, I am always like test aware and trying to help them gain confidence in taking tests and great skills, because I think that's important too. Like there's still tests even as adults and things like for jobs. And so I'm okay. This is maybe an unpopular position that I am in with compared to a lot of other homeschoolers, but I am okay with them taking tests, and I think it's important to help prepare them. I hope that this was helpful to see the 3 different options that I have for vocabulary middle school options. We have critical thinking detective vocabulary, and then we have word roots and Vocabulary Virtuoso. So make sure down below you go and check out their link. It has some of their extra details, like some of the things that they might have for free. I think they have like a weekly subscription, like you can get something in your email for free. So I will link that down below, but make sure you go check out the vocabulary options. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel, and have a great day.